These little birds are determined that they're going to live above the transom in the cove of my front door. I've had grackles, robins, house finches, sparrows, everything attempts to make a nest up here, and then the doves will come and they all want to live in this little corner up here. This is a protected overhang, and they're making a big mess on my front at my front door. Ugh. But it's pouring rain right now, so gotta let them have a break.
Hi everyone, good morning. Today is Friday, April 17th. And last night another mega storm came through here in New Jersey. And you can see another storm is brewing in the background. It's amazing the changes that are happening with the earth and how much water is being dumped out from the sky. After going through a summer last year and the year before, even the year before that, of severe drought during the summer. Now we get all of this rain at the same time, much earlier than normal for us here in New Jersey. So everything is saturated. The house was making some crazy, crazy noises last night. It sounded like when we were getting the roof removed that day. I thought the roof was going to blow up. I was convinced that somehow some air had got up into the attic and it was going to, I thought it was going to pop the roof off. It was very, very frightening. And then we could just hear like what sounded like a straight line wind hit the side of the house. It was just craziness. So now just a little while ago, before I came out to open up the greenhouse, which is absolutely saturated inside, I realized that some new flowers were popping out. And of course I wanted to bring you along for that and show you the beauty of, what comes in the rain. There's so many tulips open here. But, I look around at the sky and it's kind of scary. And I see the beating that the flowers took, and it is humbling, because it always reminds me that I'm so lucky to be standing here in this garden that we're creating, when this type of devastation is nothing. This is nothing. This is a reality check of what it is that some people are going through. So I always come out here and I remain grateful for everything that I have. And I try not to complain about things that got blown over in the wind or things that got a little disrupted, because there's so much more to be thankful for when you realize just what's around you. Now, I've been waiting for this tulip to open and I wanted to share it with you. I wasn't sure what was going to happen when I saw this on the cover of the package that we got from Costco and the Longfield Garden tulips. It's actually a green tulip. I've never seen a green tulip before, but even the stamen inside is green. This is so beautiful. Mr. Buddy, like I said, today he was looking at the tulips that I took in the house, and he kept saying, flower, flower. He is in love with the flowers. Will you just look at this? I'm going to write the name of this flower and this packet on the bag, and I will show you the other flower that came with it, so you know what you would be getting. But this is stunning. Once again, I'll repeat myself and say, I'm going to buy more of these, a few more open, so I'll show you what the different ones look like. Now this is the most unique tulip. I can't really say that. I keep correcting myself, because the other yellow one that looks like a peony is the most unique also. This just has a very ruffly petal to it, and some different striation of color. I don't think they will be open today because of the rain. It seems that they know to close when it's rainy so that all of the pollen remains inside. And the tulips that I cut and took in the house are opening during the day and they're closing at night, which I really didn't think would happen if I cut them, but it's just amazing. Here's the orange version of the yellow one that looks like a peony that I love so much. And while it's opening, it has a little bit of a green striation to it. Doesn't it look like a peony? So incredible. So here's another one that's opening of the green variety. It's starting to rain, you guys. I'm going to have to rush in the house. Here's another one. Every day, how can I look out and say, I have another new favorite flower? At this rate, I'm going to go bankrupt because I'm going to buy every flower that I can. The inside of the greenhouse gets saturated, so here you can see, this is just some of the water that collected on this shelf. I've been putting a tray out here. See, here's some of the live leaking action. I had better run in the house, and then I'll come back out and show you everything else that I discovered today. Here's Owie. Yes, it's Peekaboo Owie. It's Peekaboo. Say Peekaboo. It's Owie. Say hi, Alec. Alec. Yeah. Looking outside, hoping we'll be able to go outside today, but I don't know. There's a lot of rain and this clouds are just swollen. You can see that it's going to dump another storm. So once the rain slows down a little bit, I'll take you back outside and I'll show you all the volunteers that popped up overnight. And silly me, I was in here Wednesday sowing 144 combination of Zinnia and Cosmos. I think I have 19 varieties of Zinnias this year and 21 varieties of Cosmos. Really exciting. But I just went out and I was walking in front of the galvanized tubs there where we had seashell blend, Cosmos, and all sorts of Zinnias. And don't you know, they really did send out some volunteers. So they're already started. So being that it's only the second week of April and they are holding up that hardy after a cold stratification from nature on their seeds, it just goes to show you can direct sow these seeds and they're going to show up. You can probably sow Cosmos seeds the year before, you know, if it's a new variety, or, you know, much earlier in the spring than the packet tells you. I mean, I wouldn't sow fresh Cosmos down if you're in a snowy area. They might make it. You just never know. Maybe it's something that's happening here in our region and our climate that's allowing it to happen. But I'm excited and horrified all at the same time because there are so many volunteers out there. I'm going to try to prick some of them out and replant them. But some of them are going to have to get sacrificed, unfortunately, because it became very weedy with them. And we don't want the walkways taken over with all those annual flowers. Do we, Alex? Do we? Is that him? He's the boy. Alex likes to be wrapped in the towel and cuddle up and stay nice and warm. He's a good boy. Do you give kisses? Are you going to give a kiss? Give a kiss. Yes. Aki wanted to get in on the action. Aki wants to say hello. Are you going to say hello, hello? What do you see in the sky? Do you see anything, Aki? What? What do you see? Is that you? Is that you? It's you. It's you. It's you. What do you see in the sky? My wild Irish hair is all curly from being out in the rain. It's heron weather here, so we get great blue herons and gray herons that come to our pond. And they just hang around and try to poke around for food. We also have many varieties of hawks, osprey, and bald eagles. And now we're discovering that the creek is right down the street from our house, and a lot of people frequent the creeks around here on kayaks and canoes, and they go back and do some nature walks, and they're showing pictures of bald eagles sitting up in the trees right across from our house, and we know that they're here. I've been photographing the eagles right in this neighborhood for, this is our 11th season of following them, and there's times where I'll see up to 11 different birds in one day in the same area. And now when you go down the creek, there's parts of the creek where there's multiple eagles just hanging out in the trees, and it's just amazing. So the birds here, they make a lot of noise. Aki, do you see a bird? Is there a bird? He'll usually scream, it's a bird. Do you see a bird? they let me know. And that's what all that screeching behind me is. Now imagine listening to that all day, you guys. He's letting me know that there's a bird on the roof 5 acres away. So this is what I get to deal with. Well, it's still quite cloudy out there, and the sky is really very beautiful, but it's very blustery and very noisy with wind, so I was unable to finish my video out there today. Ugh. So I have some things inside that I can show you. Well, it's more than 7 hours later from when I was out there trying to film that video for you. I got wet in the rain trying to get some images. Since that time, I've cooked and cleaned up after several meals, took care of the boys, trying to get things organized, and another storm came. I mean, it was so much water that came down. I'm living in just constant fear of the elements, and if my basement is going to get wet, is my fence going to fall down, is the roof going to get blown off? It's just this constant gut feeling, you know, and I don't want to live in that anxiety, but, you know, the things that the wind is doing, and then the other day, the sun was absolutely scorching hot. And, you know, it's just something to think about. So anyway, I wanted to show you while I was outside that I came across, after all this rain, it must have, you know, helped along all this, the annual seeds that blew out of the flowers, like Zinnia and Cosmos and calendula. There's all sorts of stuff popping up out there. So today I found the most highly developed Cosmos seeds that I've ever seen for the middle of April. I mean, I just don't see them like this. But then again, this week while I was working out in the yard, the cicada killers are up already, and I don't usually see them until like the end of May or even June. So the fact that the cicada killers are up is a little bit concerning to me. So I went out, I wanted to take you out with me after I showed you all the tulips and show you how to identify some of the Cosmos and some of the Zinnias, but there was just way too much wind noise. So instead I'm going to show you some trays of annuals and perennials that I've started indoors, and I want to show you the progress and give you a rough idea of how long they've been growing. So you know what to expect if you're growing some seedlings indoors as well. Well, the Goon Squad is in there, is going to start with their crazy noises, and Mr. Buddy's been like a human whistle and making the phone ring on Dolby Sound. I mean, it's just been insanity. So if you hear that in the background, please have sympathy for me. But here are the tomatoes that I just potted up Saturday. It's been less than a week and they're already almost touching the light. Stems are looking really healthy, really nice and thick. This guy back here is looking really beautiful. The peppers are all doing really, really good. Let's see what's up here. More tomatoes and peppers. So all of those things are very, very happy. So they really appreciated the up potting. Got a little bit of a broken stem here, but that's wilted because I knocked it off, so no big deal. Everything here on these shelves is a little bit hard to juggle when you're trying to water and test everything and make sure that it's okay. But let's see what else we have in here. What are these leaves? Can anyone identify these? Let's see. Foxglove. Wow, the foxglove is looking incredible. I know that all of this here is my dill. There's bouquet dill, tetra, and elephant, all for the butterflies. This is Tithonia Mexican sunflower. Here I have some more dill. Oh, look, I have Silver Falls dichondra growing over here. Finally, that took a very long time. And this is Emerald Falls dichondra. Both of those came from swallowtail. Here's Canterbury bells. And, you know, it is really very difficult to tell the difference between the leaves. Dusty, you're right. It's really hard to tell. So these are the leaves of Canterbury, and these are the leaves of foxglove. But you know what? I think the foxglove leaves are more smooth. And it seems like the Canterbury bells almost have a fuzziness to them. So maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's something you could look out for. So what else is back here? Oh, orange thyme. This was a good one, you guys, if you're looking for, if you like to grow herbs. Baker Creek has Orangelo thyme. It germinated immediately and it's doing really, really well. So I'm pretty excited about that one. And what else do we have here? This is the yarrow growing right there. That grew immediately as well. So that's pretty exciting. And there's two types of yarrow over there. Let me go around to the other side. Okay, here's a better view. Ooh, look, feverfew. It's getting its true leaves. That's exciting. The Colorado blend yarrow is getting its true leaves. The Munstead strain lavender. Look at that, you guys. The lavender. The Munstead grew, whereas the Lavandula vera has not germinated yet, and they went in at the same time. Strange thing over here, I planted 4 cells of rosemary. I got 1 leaf to germinate. This is magic carpet thyme, which is very similar to the trample me thyme you're seeing on like QVC from Roberta's Gardens. So this is what you get. It germinated very, very easily for me. So I'm hoping to get this planted. I bought a second pack because we're going to use it as a ground cover out front to cover up some of the pea gravel out there. Now this, I think this one here might be fennel, or is this another dill? Bouquet dill. Wants to dry out. It dries out very, very rapidly, even though I'm watering it from underneath. We have some salmon gumfrina over here, and some curly parsley doing really good. Here's the fennel. Yeah, so we have fennel and dill. They look very similar, except for the fennel's leaves are a more yellow-green, and the dill is more of a blue-green. Really beautiful. I love the texture of those leaves. Now here's my little basil collection. I'm so happy because even the lime basil is germinating. I do have it under my little original Ferry and Morse grow light that I've used for several years because I have no room on my shelves. I'm going to be ordering more lights, but I'm pretty excited about this collection because all of these basils did so well last year. They're so fragrant and delicious. I have a lot of plans for all of this here basil. All right, what's up here on this shelf? Oh, gazania. Gazania germinated in like 2 days. The columbine is starting to take off. Over here we have some white sweet alyssum, and I have some oriental nights alyssum growing. This is amaranth. I can't wait to see that one grow. More salmon gumfrina, violet queen salvia, doing really, really well. Now I'm going to bring down a tray. I'm standing on the chair, just trying to show you everything that's growing. Now this is the Apricota Cosmos, doing really good. I wanted to make sure that I started these inside because they're a very long germination. So I only have, I think 3 of those growing inside because I wanted to make sure that they were going to grow. Tropical milkweed. All this stuff really looks so similar to each other. It's really important that you keep everything marked. This is the blue Tweedia milkweed growing here. So got lots of stuff, you guys. You know, I don't know where I'm going to put everything. I'm scared. Up here we have a good bit of the nasturtium came up, but a good bit of it did not. Not a single butterscotch popped up. So I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to repot. They don't really like their roots messed with too much. I don't know what's going to happen. So I have it on at the top shelf where there's no lights. So let me grab these trays over here so I can show you this progress. Wow, it's really like a jungle in here. Bells of Ireland. Okay, so one germinated instantly, and then the rest of the cells didn't do too well. So I have 2 in 1. So I'm going to end up with 4 Bells of Ireland. So I don't know why that one didn't germinate, but I have more columbine, more Canterbury bells. These are more mature. Let's see. Oh, this is the Evening Sensation petunias. I got to get them out of these little cells because I know they're starting to get root bound. So we have calendula here. Look at the salvia, really very mature. I know that this has to come out. So I look at the roots. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do with these roots? My kitchen table is an absolute disaster. There's garden soil everywhere. There's water containers everywhere. There's seed packets everywhere. And it's just really hard to persevere with this. I must really love it because normally my house is spotless. All right, look at the roots. The roots, oh my goodness. So this really goes back to talking about avoiding things getting root bound. You know, we are such ambitious gardeners, you know, and we want to grow everything. And once you realize you can grow one thing and you want to try to grow everything, and then not only do you not have the initial space for it, and you're struggling with what happens in your kitchen, then you think you're doing a good thing and you're smart because you started, you know, 5 or 6, 10, 20 trays of annuals and perennials. But then you have 6 of each that did really well, and they all need to be potted up. And I don't know where I'm going to plant them. So I'm hoping that they'll just hold on a little bit longer. Some of them I'm going to pot up because I know, like the petunias, they really like the heat. So I'm going to take a chance and pot them up a little bit. The salvia, I think I'm going to put in bigger pots, and I'm going to let them stay outside, because when you buy perennial salvia from the garden centers, they're usually in bigger pots, and they're a little bit more established. So I know I can let them sit in bigger pots until I'm ready to plant them out. We have a lot of plans happening and a lot of construction, so all of this stuff is just getting a little bit delayed, and I'm trying to roll with it mentally, but it is very stressful. This is the most stressful time of the growing year for me. While I have all of these healthy seedlings, everything is demanding water, it's demanding light, it's demanding air circulation, and you know, it's a lot. So it's very, very stressful, and it's hard to stay positive and enthusiastic and sound thrilled all the time when I'm just stressed, because I'm looking at all this stuff thinking, oh my God, I just potted this up a week ago and I still have a month to go. So it can be very, very stressful. So today is Friday, and just Wednesday morning, I just sowed, like I said, 2 trays of more annuals. I did zinnias and cosmos. So I'm going to they're up here and they have their domes on still, but I can see through the domes a little bit without opening them up. So I want to show you in just 2 days what kind of results I have with these seedlings. All right, so you're seeing this live with me. I haven't even seen it yet. So, oh my goodness, we have serious germination happening here already. So this is the zinnia tray. Do you know how many times I have spilled water all over the table, all over the floor? All right, so, wow, oh my goodness. So this is what it looks like when your zinnias are popping out. So I'm trying to get some good light for you here so you can get a close-up of what it looks like as it's rolling out. Really interesting to see it popping out of its seed. Sometimes when they come up, you can see they still have just the little husk of the seed on the tip, and it's like actually has its roots forming down here, and then it'll still have the little brown seed cap on it. So these guys are doing really good, but this is scary. I'm scaring myself right now because it's only been 2 days. So in just another week, they're going to be doing, like, they're going to be really very demanding. But you can see all the varieties of zinnias that I have going on here, and I'm pretty excited. So it looks like trying to think if there's anything that I'm super excited about. I know these Peruvian dwarfs, they grew happily out in the garden, so I'm not so worried that I'm not seeing them yet. I think I see a few popping out. The Cherry Queen will be interesting, but oh, the Isabellina. I am so excited for this one because it's a buttery yellow and it looks like almost like a dahlia. Oh, and the peppermint stick is up, you guys. So exciting. Envy is green. I'm just seeing one come up of those. The cut and come agains, they went crazy last year. I have Mazurkia. Red Man is a cactus blend. I think they're all going to come up. I think I'm probably going to get full germination out of this tree. All right, so now let's look at some Cosmos. Okay, so before I put this back up on top shelf, on the top shelf under the lights, you can see I have my little vents closed. So I'm going to give them a little bit of air now. I'm turning my dials so that they get some air, because once a few have germinated, they throw off different gases and everything, and they need oxygen. So this is when you want to open your vent. If you have domes with no vents, you need to prop up the lid a little bit so they can get some air. All right, here goes the Cosmos, which I could see as I was taking it down. Get ready, you guys. All right, here we go. Wow, we have Cosmos 2 days. Oh my God. Oh, let's see. Oh, the Cupcakes Cosmos came up. I cannot wait to see this. Have you guys grown the Cupcakes Cosmos yet? I ordered this seed from Park Seed, and they are so beautiful. I cannot wait to see them. The Perfect Pink that I wrote down, that's my name. That's from one of the blends that I grew, and it was my favorite flower, so I isolated some of the seeds, and they're germinating. This one here, the Gorgeous Fuchsia, is another one that I called it germinating. Dwarf White. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Candy Floss, Seashells. I really hope this mauve one germinates here. It was again from a blend. The Merlot was from the Seashell mix, and I isolated those. Oh, Daydream Cosmos. Have you seen those, you guys? Do you grow daydreams? These are also, this one here I'm calling Wink, is because I couldn't tell if it was white and I couldn't tell if it was pink. And it was a funnel one from the Seashells, so I was going to say white and then I was going to say pink, but I couldn't decide what I was going to say first, so it came out Wink, and that's what I called it, the Wink Cosmos, the Wink Funnel Cosmos. Fizzy Rose Picote is coming up. My Kiros, I can see the sensation is starting to pop out. Apricot Lemonade is always slow. I don't really see anything in there yet, but I can't stress because it's only been 2 days. My Double Dutch Rose is up. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so excited because the Cosmos and the Zinnias are like 2 of my most favorite flowers, and they're the 2 of the easiest annuals that you can grow. And they gave me such joy out in the garden. And last year, when this Perfect Pink that I pointed out to you, while that was growing, I could see it from the aviary window, and I could see it from the kitchen. And every day I went out and talked to it, and I looked at these flowers, and I fell in love with them, and they gave me such peace. And then at the end of the season, when I could see the very last flowers were starting to die down, I looked at the last most beautiful flower, and it was so strange. I said to the flower, please come back to me. Please come back. And today when I went out and I told you all those volunteers were in the walkway, they were in the area of the Perfect Pink. So I'm sitting here looking at all of these flowers that I'm germinating indoors, and yet I have all of these flowers outside volunteering for me, willing to do the work from flowers that were there last year. But quite honestly, I have so many varieties in this pack that are new. And the thing is, I want to know where I planted them. With some of these annuals, including the zinnias, you can put them down in one spot and either the wind will come or the rain will come, and maybe it knocks them out of place a little bit. Or you forget where you sowed them, or the birds will come along and pull up any name tags that you might have put down for them. So I went above and beyond this year to start at least 1 to 3 seeds of every variety that I want to see, and I want to put them in a place where I know exactly where they're going to be and that they did in fact germinate. So that's why I'm doing that this year, so that when I know exactly what they are and I can enjoy them, I can also harvest the seed, because I have a tin full of seeds that I harvested last year for all these beautiful flower varieties. So much I was able to share with my neighbor friend, and I was able to explain to her what they looked like, and she could pick what she wanted. And really with Cosmos, Marigold, Zinnias, when you start isolating the varieties, you don't have to buy seeds anymore. I have thousands and thousands of marigold seeds of all different varieties. I was hoping to start them indoors this year as well because they take a long time to show up in the garden. So, but when they show up like profusely. So I'm trying to control how many I grow so they don't show up too much because they tend to crowd things out. And you really only need a few like marigolds and cosmos seeds planted here and there. One stalk of cosmos will give you so many reblooming flowers, you'll realize you can get inundated very, very quickly. But I am going to still go out and I'm going to plant them in succession. So I'm putting this out as my first round, and then at the end of May, I'll do a few more direct sowed seeds, and then in June, I'll do a few more so that I can be certain that I have blooms through October, because zinnias and cosmos and marigolds will all hang around until frost. So they're beautiful. They do self-sow and volunteer very happily all over the garden. So make sure if you plant these out, you put them in a place where you're willing to deal with the volunteers and know that they're going to be showing up in your garden for a very long time. So again, I just put the lid back on and I opened up the vents a little bit for my cosmos babies. And I really needed to see this today because I was, feeling just a little overwhelmed. It's a very noisy day. My house is a disaster. That is enough alone to not allow you to have mental peace. I have a pile of laundry sitting in front of me, 3 piles of laundry that are over there, and I meant to fold them 6 hours ago. But I just couldn't get to it. So I'm going to go have myself a hot shower. I'm going to put my pajamas on and rub some lotion on my feet because my feet hurt. I'm going to sit and quietly fold my clothes and get ready for tomorrow. We go back. It will be weekend number 3 for construction of the dry stacked stone, the colonial stone wall I've been talking about. There will be a more in-depth video focusing on that. So tomorrow I'll go out and whatever video I make, I'll include some footage in there so you can see the progress. But we did make good progress last week. Unfortunately, the weather here tomorrow is going to be very, very windy and chilly. So any videos that I make will have a lot of wind disturbance in them. So we have that going on. And then after the wall's done, we have soil coming, we have mulch coming, we're going to the nurseries, we're going to buy shrubs for the new raised wall, so I have to pick those out. And then I will hopefully be planting flowers up in this new bed very, very soon. It's all so exciting. There's still projects in the back that we're working on that we never finished, so we are going to be at it again for the next summer, you guys. And I'm hoping that this time next year I'm going to be sitting down and more peacefully looking at my seedlings, and my kitchen will be a little bit more clean and we won't have excavation happening. So it all gets to be a lot. So it's wonderful that we have it happening, but it's also just, it's mentally exhausting because I like things to be in their place and I like them organized, but I've been living in chaos for quite a while. That on top of the boys being very, very noisy today. Hopefully I can get video of Mr. Buddy saying flower. He's saying flower like a second hand on a clock. Flower, flower, flower. It goes on for hours. It's flower hour. I don't know why he's fallen in love with the word flower. I didn't really teach him to say it. He just picked it up, and then then he had me repeating it. Now he's just been saying flower nonstop. So moms, I'm sure you get it, or even bird people who have a bird that just repeats the same thing over and over again. So Buddy's been saying flower. Alex has been making a noise like metal on chalkboard, and Aki's been screaming at the top of his lungs. Yeah, so that's a day in my life. So anyway, you guys, stay tuned. Thanks for looking at the beautiful green tulips with me today and having a seedling check of what annuals I'm growing from seed and what you can expect if you're growing seedlings and starter trays as well for annual and perennial flowers as well. A lot of these flowers are perennials like the salvias. There's red salvia and purple salvia, the foxglove and the Canterbury bells, the yarrow. They're all beautiful perennial flowers, and a lot of the dill and the fennel and the parsley I was showing you is specifically for the butterfly gardens, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Thank you to the newbies who have been signing up. I am so grateful for your kind words. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy for the gentle and wonderful conversations that we can have, and it's all really encouraging to know that I have so many grateful and encouraging people that are starting to gather around us and supporting our backyard garden. It means the world to us. So anyway, you guys, happy Friday. It won't be a Friday when you see this, but anyway, we will be far ahead, and I don't know, there's probably 3 videos coming before you'll even see this one, so I'll stop talking and I won't take up the rest of your night. So anyway, you guys, don't forget, if you're new, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. If this video helped you or you just liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help our channel to grow. So thanks again, you guys. I'm really enjoying seeing you all show up here over and over again. I sure hope to see you in the next video.